All right, guys, you're welcome to Football Gazette podcast once again. My name is Muyiwa Joshua. Well, I've got with me Toby Akintola, a sports enthusiast in the city of Ibadan, with me in the studio. Toby, welcome on the
Yeah, thank you for having me. Super excited to be here. I'm super excited to be here. I mean, I like your studio. Fantastic studio, I must admit.
All right, so I think we should be revisiting that. All right, in the world of football, presently there are quite a number of youngsters. I mean, you would agree with me, it's the post-Ronaldo and Messi European dominance.
Of course.
So now these youngsters, they will be ambitioning, probably they could be the next big thing.
Yeah.
And maybe with some level of consistency in seasons to come, they can actually get themselves into the shoes we saw from Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys dominated European football,
or
let's say world football, for quite a number of years. The likes of Erling Haaland, Lamine Yamal, Victor Gyökeres, these are guys firing from all cylinders who are hoping they can maintain a level of consistency over the years. Of course, Haaland, we know what this particular guy can do.
He doesn't look like a young player, though.
Well, he doesn't look like a young player, but then he's still a youngster. He's widely been regarded as one.
Yeah.
So, to you, which of these players do you think has the prospect to actually maintain that consistency for the number of years to come?
Of course, I think we have a lot of them right now in football.
A lot of them.
Lamine Yamal, he was fantastic at the European Championship with Spain. He was even 16 at the time before he clocked 17. A young guy. I mean, even the start of this season, he's scoring goals and of course.
And he's shown like a million.
Yeah, making assists for Barcelona as well. Erling Haaland has been around for a while right now. From his days at Borussia Dortmund before going to Manchester City. Looking at his record at Manchester City, it's an insane record, a crazy record. He has 9 goals already this season in the Premier League. 9 goals out of 4 matches. He has 2 hat-tricks already. He could have made it 3 over the weekend, but he was probably unlucky in their game over the weekend. So, I mean, fantastic football youngsters. They are good. I mean, the years of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, they dominated the football scene for almost 20 years. I mean, for the first time in 20 years, none of them was actually
the Ballon d'Or.
I mean, that's a bit strange anyway. Yeah. But of course, we have new guys in the block right now. Kylian Mbappe, you can't say Mbappe is young any longer. Mbappe has been around for a while. He was at the World Cup in 2018, won the World Cup in 2018, got to the final in 2022. But the young stars that we have right now, Gyökeres, he was linked to Arsenal. I don't know why that deal did not materialize. Lamine Yamal, fantastic player, just 17 years of age. Good players. I think with consistency, I think they are going to get to that level. I just hope, because you know we've had other youngsters in time past who did not really live up to expectation. Likes of Ansu Fati. Remember Ansu Fati?
Yeah, Ansu Fati.
Fantastic player. He started very well with Barcelona, but of course injury played a part in his own progress. He's been struggling right now. I mean, I can't even recognize Ansu Fati any longer. I mean, he was a fantastic player some years ago. But I think these guys, Lamine Yamal, Victor Gyökeres, Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland is a no-brainer. He's been scoring goals for fun. I mean, how can you score? I mean, looking at this,
it's a long goal left now for him to break Cristiano Ronaldo record of the fastest player.
Fantastic. He's scoring goals for fun. Now, of course, he's playing for Manchester City. It's when you're playing for a team like Manchester City. I mean, you just have to be a good finisher. If you're a good finisher, you're going to score a lot of goals. I can't remember play. I can't imagine having players like Bernardo Silva behind you, Jeremy Doku. These are guys that will create for you definitely. What you just need to do is just put the ball at the back of the net. So I'm not surprised.
So if I'm really correct with your assertion now, you want to say the team Erling Haaland actually plays for has contributed a lot to his return.
Of course, he's playing for Manchester City. Arguably the best team in the Premier League now. I mean, you don't win.
You said arguably arguably the best team.
MJ, you can't win the Premier League 4 times on the bounce in the Premier League without being a good team.
Of course.
They are fantastic. They have a fantastic manager. The quality of the team is fantastic. It's insane. I don't know. The team is good. I mean, when you're playing for a team like that, you have to score the goals, and you definitely get chances to score the goals.
If Erling Haaland had made a move to Chelsea or Manchester United, do you think he's going to be red hot in form as he is presently?
No. I don't think he will score a lot of goals. He's going to score a lot of goals for those teams too, but not as Manchester City. At Man City, you are sure of getting, let's say, 10 clear-cut chances in a football game. And if you have 10 chances, I mean, Haaland is likely to score 6 or 7 because he has the potential of doing that. And so, but for Manchester United, they've been struggling in recent times. For Chelsea, they had an abysmal season last season. And for United too, I mean, these are two clubs that they are close. I mean, if one finished 8th, the other one finished 10th, just like last season. And if you look at the Premier League log right now, they are also very close. One is placed 8th, the other one is placed 10th. If I'm not mistaken, so it's Chelsea and Manchester. But of course, they're playing for Manchester City. They're definitely going to score the goal.
But that's not undermining his ability to score goals. Naturally, he's a proven goal scorer.
See, when people say Erling Haaland does not have, he does not have footwork, he cannot dribble. I mean, for me, that's
who cares about that?
About that? I mean, the most important part of a striker is to score goals. I mean, a striker like Gabriel Jesus, for example, is a very skillful striker. You know, Gabriel Jesus is a skillful striker, but Jesus cannot score 20 Premier League goals. He's very skillful, he can dribble, but he's not a goal scorer. Haaland does not have his skill, but he will generally score.
And that's what's required.
That's what matters. I mean, you don't need to. What do you need to do at Manchester City? Just put the ball at the back of the net. But again, what makes you a good player is being consistent for a long period.
That's the point. That's the important. That's the important thing.
If you look at Messi and Ronaldo, 20 years is actually a lot of time. So if you are consistent, I don't want the player that will play just a season, score 30 goals, and the next season,
then the next season
forget about him. You need to be consistent for at least 5 to 6 years. You say, yeah, you're a good player. And then Haaland has been doing it for Manchester City.
Right from RB Salzburg.
Yes, now for
Borussia Dortmund.
For Manchester. This is his third season at Manchester City, and he's scoring a lot of goals. He's going to win the Golden Boot definitely for Man City this season. He's consistent. Do you understand? Kylian Mbappe, since his days at Paris Saint-Germain, forget about the fact that he struggled a bit now, because people are saying, well, maybe he will not be able to replicate that.
Can we say he's struggling?
By his own standard.
Okay, from the standard he set for himself right there
by his own
PSG.
standard, he's a fantastic player. I mean, he's just getting the groove at Real Madrid. And don't forget as well that he has a bit of a conundrum at Manchester at Real Madrid. Vinicius Junior. Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah, quite a couple of people who play.
I don't know if he's a striker. We can call him a striker or a winger. He likes to play from the left hand side of the attack. But we've got Vinicius Junior who also likes to play from that. I remember a game that I think probably the second game at Real Madrid, Vinicius Junior and Kylian Mbappe, they were just, you know, very difficult to
that's
combine.
the conflict you experience when you have players of same profile in the same team, and you can't drop one for another.
Don't drop one. So I think actually the responsibility is on Carlo Ancelotti, who is the coach, to actually get the best out of Kylian Mbappe. But of course, he has the quality to shine.
All right. Before we move to the next one, I want you to single out 2 players now who you think in the coming years might actually arrive at that scene where they get to share the stage together.
For me, Kylian Mbappe.
Single out 2 players.
Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Junior.
They both play for Real Madrid.
It doesn't matter. These are the guys closest to Ronaldo and Messi.
Basically, you're saying Real Madrid might just see Real Madrid farming on European football.
Of course,
anytime soon.
that's why they are called Real Madrid, the Galacticos now. I mean, they have the most Champions League. The quality is there. So you expect them to dominate.
Oh, well, I want to resist the urge to actually tag you or say you have affiliations to a certain team in Europe, especially in the English Premier League. But then one constant name or team you've been mentioning here is Arsenal. At some point you mentioned Gabriel Jesus. At some point you mentioned Gyökeres being linked to Arsenal. Is there any affiliations with you and Arsenal?
I don't know why people ask me this question. I'm a sport broadcaster.
Okay.
I mean, maybe years before I used to have the soft spot for Arsenal.
Okay, not any longer.
I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm a sport broadcaster.
Well, then I think that's really unfair on your person, actually, because when Arsenal used to suffer or were used to suffering under the likes of Arsene Wenger, under the likes of Unai Emery, but now that you should be reaping the fruits of good football,
I think it's just a personal decision, actually. Just a personal decision. Just a personal decision, actually. But of course, I still like Arsenal, but I'm not an Arsenal fan.
All right, you're not an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
That will lead us into talking about Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal, for the past couple of seasons now, have proven to be an Arsenal different from what we used to know under the previous managers, at least since 2000.
Yeah.
Under Mikel Arteta has actually brought something exceptional.
Yeah.
Something we are not used to seeing under the likes of Arsene Wenger, Unai Emery, and the likes. There's this level of stability in the team to actually go head to head
Yeah.
with Manchester City in the past couple of seasons now. And the last time out during the weekend, we actually saw them missing a couple of key players, but still they showed this resilience in actually grinding out the maximum 3 points. I mean, how far do you think Arsenal can as well go this season into being the sole contender against Manchester City?
See, I mean, for back-to-back seasons right now, Arsenal have finished second in the Premier League behind Manchester City. It's been very hard on Arsenal, very tough on Arsenal. But I think Mikel Arteta has done a fantastic job so far for Arsenal. See, if you consider where Arsenal is coming from, and at the time Arsenal was challenging to even finish in the top four, I think there was 3 or 4 years that Arsenal did not even play in the Champions League. After Arsene Wenger, they had Unai Emery at the time, and they got a couple of other managers who could not actually do very well for Arsenal. Then Arteta came in 2019 for Manchester City. He has been able to steady the ship at Arsenal. But of course, we also must emphasize that the Arsenal management have been very patient with Mikel Arteta. He became the manager in 2019, won the FA Cup in his first season, and after winning the FA Cup, I mean, he has not won anything after that time. Apart the competition that he won in 2020, Arsenal have actually kept faith with Mikel Arteta. He's been able to build his team. He's been able to get players that can play for him, and that is actually getting them the results right now. But will Arsenal contend for the Premier League title once again this season?
Just like we saw them in the last 2 seasons.
Yes, they are going to contend for the Premier League title. But the question is this: is Arsenal satisfied finishing second? Yes, they've done that for the last 2 seasons. Arsenal finishing second. I won't say that's a bad achievement. It's not a bad achievement, especially behind Manchester City. But of course, they must go a step further. And when you go a step further, you are able to win the Premier League title.
So you don't see finishing second a bad achievement? Doesn't it sound being comfortable with playing second fiddle?
No.
Regardless of who is
Arteta said before the start of the season that Arsenal, they are not satisfied with that position. They want to go a step further. But you see, when you want to go a step further against a Manchester City team led by Pep Guardiola, you need to be perfect. I mean, for a club to win 4 Premier League titles on the bounce, it's not sheer luck. Actually, they work for it. They have the quality. Last season, they could have won the league. I mean, I was looking at the statistics of Arsenal last season. Arsenal got 6 points from Manchester United, beat United home and away. They got 4 points from Chelsea. They got 4 points from Manchester City. But of course, they lost 6 points to Aston Villa. They lost 4 points to Fulham. I mean, Aston Villa came to the Emirates Stadium last season and beat Arsenal 2 goals to nothing. And that was the match where they lost the Premier League title. This team Arsenal defeated Tottenham Hotspur, but they lost points to smaller teams. Do you understand?
So do you see Arsenal doing something different this season now? They already drew a match and it was with a side below.
I think they have the quality actually, but of course I also have some reservations over Arsenal. The issue of squad depth. Before during the summer, Arsenal were linked to a lot of strikers. They couldn't get a striker. They are not indicated joined Crystal Palace. They got Raheem Sterling on loan from Chelsea. Well, I'm not saying that Sterling is a bad player, but of course, Arsenal should have actually gotten more players. Before that.
So does it mean Kai Havertz playing the first 9 position?
Kai Havertz will not score so many goals for Arsenal. It's not a bad player. It's a decent player. But I think for a team like Arsenal to challenge for the Premier League title, you need a striker that will score at least 20 Premier League goals like Erling Haaland is doing for Manchester City. I'm not saying Arsenal will not win the league, but I'm saying that if they are going to win the league this season, they need to do more than they've done
in the previous season.
Yeah.
Okay, since you mentioned earlier that you used to have a soft spot for Arsenal, which led us into talking about them.
Yeah.
But let's talk about rival teams right there. How far do you think the likes of Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool can go this season? I mean, that's where the bands come in. Of course, I know since you have some kind of affiliations with Arsenal in times past, then you have this very strong hatred.
Objectively, before the start of the season, I never gave Liverpool any chance to challenge for the title, especially now that they have a new manager and slot. But what we have seen so far of Liverpool, forget about that defeat to Nottingham Forest. Okay. I mean, that was probably just
But that's a 3 point.
Yes, I know, but nobody expected them to lose to Nottingham Forest, but of course it happened. I still expect them to challenge for the title. For Manchester United, of course, I don't expect them to challenge for the title. They know. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo, remember, there was an interview he had with a podcast some days ago that he actually lambasted United manager Erik ten Hag, saying, how would ten Hag say United would not compete for the big trophy? Erik ten Hag himself knows that there is no way United will compete for the Premier League title. The best United can get is the best. It's probably a top 6 finish, the best.
But don't you think the difference between Manchester United and Arsenal here is the fact that Arsenal have been widely regarded or known to be this hardest worker. Meanwhile, they do not try to play smart at any point in time. But here we have Erik ten Hag, who actually knows how to play his game. In the past 2 years, that's what he's been saying. He got himself 2 trophies. Meanwhile, Arsenal, despite all the good football, haven't laid their hands on a single silverware.
A manager winning the cup competition is not a way of actually rating the manager. Arteta won the FA Cup in his first season at Arsenal. After the FA Cup, he has not won anything. Do you understand? Erik ten Hag has won the Carabao Cup, he won the FA Cup, but where did United finish last season? They finished 8th, right? And that's their worst finish in like 20 years. I can't remember the last time United finished outside
Ferguson.
Yes. So I mean, I can't remember the last time. So for me, they are not going to finish in the top 4, not top 5. They are lucky finish in the top 6.
In this season?
Okay. Who will Manchester United actually pull out of the top 4 to even break to the top 4? Is it Manchester City? Is it
Arsenal? How about Chelsea? Let's talk about Chelsea.
Well, Chelsea. Well, I don't know what to expect from Chelsea this season, to be honest. I mean, Enzo Maresca.
It's really dicey.
Yeah, fantastic manager. I mean, from Leicester City, he has this DNA of Pep Guardiola. I don't know why Chelsea went for Enzo Maresca. Maybe Chelsea wanted to copy Mikel Arteta, copy Arsenal, because Arteta is also a former mentee of
Pep Guardiola.
They now felt, okay, Enzo Maresca, someone that has affiliation with, now bring him to Chelsea. Well, I don't know what to expect from Chelsea. They started the season not fantastic, but I think the start of the season has not been bad for Chelsea. And they lost to Manchester City, expectedly anyway. They got a win last weekend against Bournemouth. Fantastic assist from Jadon Sancho, who was who United fans thought that it's useless. But of course,
in the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, I got an assist for Chelsea. A good player actually. So I don't know what to expect from Chelsea this season, but of course you don't expect Chelsea to finish in the top 4. You don't expect it.
Really? You don't expect Chelsea
to
finish in the top 4?
The top 4 is already confirmed.
Alright, football fans out there, you can swipe up the comment section to give us your 2 cents on the discourse matter for today. We had Toby Akintola in the studio. Until some other time when we'll get back here to do this once again. Do stay good and safe. Peace out.